Right now at 6, surplus turns to surprise in one local school district.
It was pretty shocking to hear of an 11 million swing.
Plus, the simple strategy one Portland shelter is using to try to stop overdoses from turning deadly.
Because of this system, 4 times we were able to respond and bring people back.
And a health alert along a stretch of Oregon coast.
For right now, again, walk on the beach, enjoy the fresh air, but do not collect mussels.
What's causing some to get sick from shellfish and how to recognize the symptoms. Thanks for joining us. I'm David Molko. We begin at 6 with an Oregon school district millions of dollars in debt, shocking both parents and, it turns out, school board members. Let's get right to Thomas Schultz live at Newberg district offices. So Thomas, first of all, how did this happen?
Well, David, board members aren't sure right now. For months, they were told that the district is in good financial shape. And now parents are left scrambling after finding out that in actuality, Newberg's facing $3 million in debt.
I feel like we don't know a lot.
Carly Barnett is a parent of 2 first graders in the Newberg school district. And in an early May school board meeting, she says district officials said Newberg had $8 million in savings. Though a couple weeks later, district officials reported they were suddenly in a hole of more than $3 million.
It was pretty shocking to hear of an 11 million swing.
And she's worried what that means for the rest of the school year.
As a parent, we're looking at, do we have furlough days before the end of the school year? Do we have to cut money this school year? What's next year going to look like?
And this shortfall comes on top of issues parents have had with district leadership for years, like cuts to alternative programs.
It makes me feel angry, very, very angry.
Irene Dunlop is a parent of 2 Newberg kids. And after the sudden deficit, she wants big change from the superintendent.
I beg him to leave.
In an online petition, more than 1,000 people are asking for Superintendent Stephen Phillips's resignation too.
I think maybe some people got put in positions where they didn't know what they were doing.
Shayna Barrier, another parent, taught in Newberg for 13 years. She left shortly after Phillips was hired.
I knew I had to leave. I feel good about my decision to leave.
And in a May 21st letter, school board members say they were stunned to learn of the $3 million in debt after being assured by Phillips any shortfall would be managed through savings. We caught up with the superintendent, who said this about the petition to oust him.
But I think it's fair to say I understand. We're in a budget crisis, and there's a lot of misunderstanding, but bottom line is people are scared and nervous about the future, and responsibility lies with me.
Phillips says the rise in costs is due to special education, transportation, and other programs that went over budget, and less money from the state than expected. He's working with the state, school board, and unions to address the debt, though he says there will be slashes to the budget.
There absolutely will be cuts next year.
Which of course raises even more questions and uncertainty here. So Thomas, what about these cuts? Do we know how many jobs or who will be affected?
Yeah, David, Phillips says it's not clear yet how many jobs will be eliminated, though he does say it's going to be significant and it's going to be far-reaching. Teachers, district office personnel, and classified staff will all face cuts. David?
Yeah, Thomas Schultz in Newberg tonight. Thank you, Thomas. In your headlines now, Portland police are investigating a shooting near Roosevelt High School. Officers say they responded to reports of shots fired around noon near the baseball field on North Central Street. When they arrived, they found a car that was hit by gunfire and a second vehicle that was likely hit, they say, by a suspect vehicle leaving the area. No one was injured. Roosevelt High was placed under a brief lockdown. A Newberg man is behind bars following a stabbing on Sunday in Tualatin. Officers responded to the Todd Village Apartments on Southwest Mohawk Street just after 5:30 Sunday evening. That is where they say they found a 49-year-old man with stab wounds. He was taken to the hospital and is expected to survive. Police say they spotted the suspect, 58-year-old Christopher Knapp, a short time later and arrested him. Authorities say the 2 men knew each other and the stabbing followed a fight. And 30 Willamette Valley wineries and vineyards have filed a $100 million lawsuit against Pacificorp over smoke damage from the 2020 Labor Day wildfires. The group claims Pacificorp is ultimately responsible for the smoke and soot that ruined their harvest because it did not de-energize its power lines during the windstorm, in turn sparking some of those fires. Late last year, Oregon courts ruled that similar lawsuits against Pacificorp brought by other local wineries could move forward. Pacificorp said it is committed to settling all reasonable claims pertaining to the wildfires. Matt?
All right, David, thank you. We've had some strong showers in parts of the metro area, but all east of downtown. Still some pretty dark-looking clouds out there, but not as ominous as it was a while ago. Temperatures dropped, though, to 58, and we've got rain showers out there for sure. Look at the coast. Amazing. Cannon Beach has been enjoying sunshine for hours. So has the southern or the central part of the coast down around Newport, 57 degrees there. So let's check Doppler radar. This is the cell. Well, there's a couple of them. The one that's over Clark County was over really downtown Portland and the inner east side neighborhoods about an hour ago. It's now shifted north into Clark County, but more cells developing up in North Portland and then also on the east side of Portland along I-205. None of these are all that strong, but the one around Sandy producing some heavy rainfall there. And we've had some very heavy rainfall and lots of thunderstorms still do in eastern Oregon here. You can see it arcing from Lake County clear up into Wallowa County. So again, it's been an active day weather-wise around the Northwest, although as far as you are concerned, if you didn't get hit by one of these strong showers, you're like, yeah, it wasn't that bad. A few sprinkles and lots of clouds, right, which is what we are dealing with right now. So showers tonight, chances of thunderstorms really have diminished in the west side of the state now that the sun is getting close to the horizon. Sun and showers again tomorrow. Warm up at the end of the week, then a weekend cool down. More on that and the first typhoon in the Pacific this season, David, in a bit. Back to you.
Glad you're keeping an eye on it. Thank you, Matt. Now at 6, a shellfish poisoning outbreak on the Oregon coast has sent more than a dozen people to the hospital, with health officials urging people to avoid eating mussels they may have harvested themselves. Daisy Caballero has those details.
Well, according to the Oregon Health Authority, at least 20 people have reportedly gotten sick from this naturally occurring biotoxin that we're told stems from algae blooms.
Get some fresh air, get some exercise, but do not go collecting mussels and consuming them.
That's the message public health officials are sharing on Tuesday as a shellfish poisoning outbreak hits the northern Oregon coast, from Short Beach near Oceanside to Seaside in Clatsop County.
It's not rare. We do see it every year. It's usually related to a toxin that's produced by algae blooms.
Dr. DeBass is an epidemiologist with the Oregon Health Authority and shares at least 20 people have gone to the hospital due to shellfish poisoning after privately harvesting mussels over the weekend. He says the mussels collect this toxin and when consumed come mild reactions.
And that toxin is what causes the tingling of the mouth and the lips and then their fingers, etc.
For now, Dr. DeBass says only mussels are impacted and other shellfish are in the clear, which is great news for both Sean and Danielle Freitas.
We actually went clamming on Sunday and picked 2 limits and ate all of them, and nobody got sick.
The pair and their families were celebrating a milestone birthday and collecting agates and shared they're lucky to have changed their minds on hunting for more than just rocks.
Happy we did not go mussel hunting yesterday. Or today. Yeah, we thought about it. We thought we were very close.
Signs of shellfish poisoning usually appear 30 to 60 minutes after a person eats a toxic shellfish, and it can be deadly, especially for children.
For right now, again, walk on the beach, enjoy the fresh air, but do not collect mussels.
Now, to reiterate, commercially harvested mussels are not affected here, and OHA says that they'll likely have more cases to report on, and we'll have an update on those numbers sometime on Thursday or Friday. Reporting from the Oregon coast, Daisy Caballero, KGW News.
In our fentanyl crisis, a new overdose alert system at Portland Rescue Mission downtown appears to be helping save lives. We are highlighting it tonight as part of the KGW Solutions project. And as Blair Best reports, now other groups are looking to it as one way to help reduce deaths in a crisis that shows no signs of letting up.
There's a basic need missing for those living on Portland streets.
To find a bathroom on the streets, I mean, you kind of have to go out of your way.
One spot, and the only spot downtown where bathrooms are always open to homeless people, is Portland Rescue Mission.
Room to brush my teeth, shave, use the restroom, sometimes for food.
It's an overnight shelter and day center on West Burnside Street.
So we have over 6,000 unique individuals use our services every year. It's a pretty incredible number, and many of those are just for the privilege of being able to have a safe restroom to use.
With that comes a risk.
Bathrooms are one of the more dangerous parts of providing services.
Since the start of last year, Portland Fire and Rescue has been called to this Portland Rescue Mission more than 200 times. 25 were for overdoses.
Anyone who provides services to individuals struggling with addiction and has restrooms has the, in my opinion, obligation to be aware of how those restrooms are used.
Because of this,
it takes about 10 seconds for it to activate.
A Portland Rescue Mission puts sensors on the bathroom doors. A red flashing light alerts staff when someone has been locked inside for 10 minutes. This tally shows the number of lives it's helped save in the past year.
Because of this system, 4 times we were able to respond and bring people back.
I think that's amazing. Part of my language. I think that's beautiful. We need to do more for the opiate pandemic.
The side effects of which were seen early Tuesday on the corner of Southwest 2nd and Cooch, where first responders were called to someone experiencing severe withdrawal symptoms.
The fentanyl problem is really scarce. It's taking over our city.
A few blocks away,
our frontline team has responded to more overdose deaths.
Union Gospel Mission is also seeing a rise in overdoses right outside their doors. They, along with others, see the system at Portland Rescue Mission as a way to stay on top of this deadly crisis.
Yeah, I think it's great. I think just with our experience, even experiencing more people that have overdosed on the street and needing to respond to that, having a system in place in their building where they can help people if they have overdose is really good.
All right, so Portland Rescue Mission is already helping other organizations looking to install similar overdose response systems, and they're hoping larger groups like restaurant chains will do the same, seeing as the fentanyl crisis continues to take lives. David?
Yeah, good to see something simple that is working. Thanks so much, Blair. This story, by the way, is part of our ongoing commitment to highlight solutions. If you know of a local group or organization that is working to tackle one of the big challenges in our region, you can email us at solutions@kgw.com.